Senator Rubio, for the purposes of the lines you would draw legislatively as a president on immigration reform, define amnesty.
Well, first of all, I think amnesty is the forgiveness of a wrongdoing without consequence. And that I've never supported that. I do not support that. I think there has to be consequences for violating our immigration laws. What I think is clear about this issue to begin with is we're not going to be able to make progress on illegal immigration until first illegal immigration is brought under control. Now, but you go back to 1986 when they legalized 3 million people and they promised to secure the border. It didn't happen. And as a result, people have lost trust in the federal government. It is now clear that the only way to make progress on immigration is not just to pass a law that enforces the law, but actually prove to people that it's working. They want to see the wall built. They want to see the additional border agents. They want to see E-Verify. They want to see an entry-exit tracking system. 40% of the people in this country illegally are entering legally and overstaying visas. And only after all of that is in place, then we'll see what the American people are willing to support on this issue. I think the American people will be very reasonable, but responsible about how you handle someone who's been here a long time, who can pass a background check, who pays a fine and starts paying taxes, and all they want is a work permit. But you can't do any of that until you prove to people that illegal immigration is under control once and for all.
There is a difference between Senator Rubio and me on this question.
We're going to have to do...
Your reply.
We're going to have to do this again, okay? When that issue was being debated, Ted Cruz at a committee hearing very passionately said, I want immigration reform to pass. I want people to be able to come out of the shadows. And he proposed an amendment that would have legalized people here. Not only that, he proposed doubling the number of green cards. He proposed a 500% increase on guest workers. Now his position is different. Now he is a passionate opponent of all those things. So he either wasn't telling the truth then, or he isn't telling the truth now. But to argue he's a purist on immigration is just not true.
Major, I get a response to that.
Very quickly.
All right, Senator Cruz, your response, Senator Cruz.
You know, the lines are very, very clear. Marco right now supports citizenship for 12 million people here illegally. I oppose citizenship. Marco stood on the debate stage and said that. But I would note not only that, Marco has a long record when it comes to amnesty. In the state of Florida, as Speaker of the House, he supported in-state tuition for illegal immigrants. In addition to that, Marco went on Univision in Spanish and said he would not rescind President Obama's illegal executive amnesty on his first day in office. I have promised to rescind every single illegal executive action, including that one. And on the question,
very quickly.
First of all, I don't know how he knows what I said on Univision because he doesn't speak Spanish. And second of all, the other point that I would make...
Marco, si quieres, díselo ahora mismo, díselo ahora. En español, si quieres.
This is a disturbing pattern now, because for a number of weeks now, Ted Cruz has just been telling lies. Right. He lied about Ben Carson in Iowa. He lies about Planned Parenthood. He lies about marriage. He's lying about all sorts of things, and now he makes things up. The bottom line is this is a campaign, and people are watching it, and they see the truth behind all these issues. And here's the truth. Ted Cruz supported legalizing people that were in this country illegally,
simply
and only now does he say he will.
That is absolutely false. What he said is knowingly false. And I would note, if you want to assess who's telling the truth, if you want to assess who's telling the truth, then you should look to Jeff Sessions, who said without Ted Cruz, the Rubio-Schumer amnesty bill would have passed, and Ted was responsible. You should look to Rush Limbaugh and Mark Levin that said,
Senator Cruz,
Marco,
that'll be the last one.
point out in addition.
Governor Bush.
I'll put the video online, and you can make it.
Governor Bush, I want to... Yes.